Hello, friends. Your next timeline is not waiting on another technique. It's waiting on a decision. Because every time you'll say, oh, I'll script later, I'll affirm later, I'll do visualization later, you are letting the old version choose for the future version of you. And that one pattern, the pattern of always delaying, the pattern of always waiting, might be the one thing that is keeping your manifestation from you. And that might be one of the reasons why your manifestation feels close, but it's never here. So today I want to talk about the one choice your next timeline requires. This choice is not about being perfect or always doing all your manifestation routine. No. The choice is to stop letting your current mood, your current reality decide your future identity and your future timeline. Because manifestation is not just about what you want, it's about who you are willing to become before the evidence shows up. But before we get into it, I just want to say hello, I'm Brooke-Sidney. Welcome to my new viewers and welcome back to my old friends. Today we are talking about choosing our heart and making the choice to enter and be consistent with our next timeline. That's what today is about. So let's get into it. One of the biggest things that we hear all the time on the internet is choose your heart. And I believe in manifestation as well as in life, there is nothing more true that we can say about it. You get to decide. You get to decide what your heart is. You get to decide, is it hard staying in the same place? Is it hard still not having your manifestation? Is it hard still feeling like you're missing out on things, right? That you're not living up to who you truly believe that you are? Is it hard repeating those same patterns? Is it hard feeling like your desires are close, but they never arrive? Or maybe it's hard feeling like you're another person, that you can actually feel yourself being that other identity, but yet you're still waking up in the same room, in the same bed, with the same life. But then on the other side, there's the heart of becoming him or her. It's like the heart of showing up when you don't feel like it. It's the heart of, sitting down to work on your manifestation process. It's the heart of scripting when honestly scrolling feels so much easier. It's the heart of affirming or using affirmations when your 3D doesn't even look like how you want it to look. And frankly, it's the heart of choosing a new story time and time again when the old story feels so familiar. Friends, both are hard. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Both are hard. But you get to choose the one that actually pays you back. One hard keeps you attached to the version of you that is always waiting. The other hard trains your identity to become the version of you who already has your manifestation. And that is the hard I want you to start choosing. I'm inviting you today to choose. So, we know that it's a choice. But let's talk about the fact that we're not really forcing. It's not about forcing. It's not about shaming. It's not about hustling. It's not about pretending that you're not tired or not pretending that you don't feel something that you actually feel. We're not BSing ourselves. To me, it's about devotion. Because there's a big difference between forcing and devotion. Forcing sounds like I have to do this, I must do this, if not, I am failing. And if I don't do it perfectly, somehow something is wrong with me. That's like forcing the energy, forcing yourself. Devotion is something different, right? Devotion sounds like I am choosing this because of who I am becoming. I am choosing this because when I choose this version of me, when I choose per se this hard, it is developing me. It's making me better. It's making me feel good about myself. And it's making me the version of me who has the manifestation. Forcing feels heavy. Devotion feels aligned. Forcing makes your manifestation routine feel like punishment, and devotion makes your manifestation routine feel like a commitment to the relationship with your future self. And to me, that devotion to the person that we're becoming, it's really simple. It's back to that taking 20 minutes to do the scripting when we really feel like scrolling. It looks like our affirmation practice or our ask-formation practice when our mind just kind of wants to argue with itself, like when we're just going back and forth, when the doubts are creeping in. It looks like getting into the state akin to sleep when we're going to sleep, instead of allowing our minds to like twist and spiral around in fear. It looks like choosing one aligned action that says to ourselves, I'm choosing the future version of me. All of this, my friends, is a choice. So after we've made the choice and after we've decided to be devoted to this new version of ourselves, of course, resistance is going to pop up. Your old identity is, of course, going to try to keep you safe. Let's talk about that. This is the part that I feel like no one really talks about. I mean, the old version of you is not trying to ruin your life. They're not trying to make things hard for you. All it's doing is making you feel safe, and it's also keeping you in line with what's been familiar, whether that's worked out for you or not. Your current reality may not be what you want, but it is what your nervous system knows. Your old timeline is full of all your familiar things, familiar thoughts, familiar emotions, familiar reactions, familiar stories, familiar timeline. Oh, and we can't forget familiar excuses. So when you start choosing this new identity and this new timeline, don't be surprised when the old identity starts showing its ugly self. It will look like her or him saying, oh, you can do it tomorrow. Those affirmations don't work. Scripting doesn't work. Manifestation never works for you. I've already tried this before. Or just skip today. And that moment right there is the timeline intersection. That is your choice point. That's your decision point. It's not when you feel amazing. It's not when everything is going perfectly. It's not when the signs are everywhere. And it's definitely not when everything seems to be confirming that the manifestation is coming. The real choice happens when nothing has changed yet, but you decide. You decide, I'm still going to act like the version of myself who already has this. That is when the shift occurs. That's when the timeline changes. So at this point, hopefully I've gotten you on board with this new choice. And I want to share the method that really works well for me and my clients when we're trying to jump timelines and we're trying to do it consistently. And to me, that is scripting. Let's talk about why scripting is so powerful. Okay, so to me, when you're scripting, and I'm also coming to it as a book developer, book coach, but when you are scripting, you're not just putting words on a paper or typing words onto a screen. You're giving your mind a new reality to enter. You're giving your mind a new reality to rehearse. You're telling your subconscious, this is normal for me. This is who I am now. This is how my life gets to unfold. And more importantly, this is the timeline I am choosing. But to me, the key is you do not script like you are begging God, the universe, source to give you something. Script like you are remembering. So don't write with the energy of, please let me have this. Write from the energy of, I love how this is naturally unfolding for me. I love how safe I feel receiving this. I love how quickly things have moved once I have decided. I love how everything aligned even better than I imagined. Can you feel the difference? One version is hoping, begging, desperate. The other is occupying, becoming, being the I am. And your next timeline requires that you occupy it before it arrives. Because the version of you who already has it is not spiraling, begging, waiting, desperate for it to arrive. Him or her chooses it, knows, returns to the assumption that I have it. It is mine. And when the old story gets loud, right? When the 3D is loud, you don't make it your identity. You make the new story your new home. And I'm also going to share this last piece because I think it's important, especially when we, are watching all these different manifestation videos and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. Are we going to do affirmations, visualizations, scripting, whatever? Just know this point. You do not need to do everything. And you especially don't need to do everything today. You do not need a 3-hour manifestation routine. You don't need to journal until your hand hurts. You don't need to affirm all day long. And more importantly, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to choose one aligned action that confirms the timeline you wish to embody. Again, just choose one aligned action that confirms the timeline you wish to embody. Just one. So maybe today it's scripting for 20 minutes. Maybe it's recording your affirmations and listening to them before you go to sleep. Maybe it's visualizing the end scene where you're living in the end. Maybe it's cleaning or clearing your space because the woman who has your manifestation lives differently. Maybe it's applying for the opportunity. Maybe it is simply refusing to spiral when the 3D does not match what you are trying to manifest. You're refusing to give over your emotional authority. Maybe it's simply saying, I know what I chose, and I'm not available to keep recreating the old version. That one choice matters, y'all. That one choice matters. Because every time you choose the new identity, you weaken the old one. Every time you return to the new assumption, you make it the dominant one. And every time you show up for the vision, you build evidence inside yourself that you are no longer the version of you who quits on your desires. And honestly, that matters way more than you think. So lastly, I want to talk about this thing called gratitude and how sometimes part of that resistance is making us think that we can't, be grateful and have more or have something else that we want. And I want to tell you that gratitude and wanting more can coexist. You can love your life and still be calling in expansion. You can appreciate yourself and still know there's room for you to grow. You can be thankful and also be unavailable for the BS or stagnation. Wanting more does not make you ungrateful. Sometimes wanting more is your soul saying, there is another version of you that needs to be embodied. I often feel like it's sometimes my soul saying that this old timeline is done. It's over with. But I know, and I've been practicing this long enough and teaching it long enough, that new timeline is not accessed through wishing and hoping. It's accessed through choosing. Choosing your focus, choosing your thoughts, choosing your emotions, choosing your new story, choosing your assumptions, choosing your new routine, choosing your response, and choosing your hard. Because staying the same is hard, but becoming him or her is hard too. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather choose the hard that pays me back and ends up with the manifestation that I desire. Okay, so lastly, I know I said that last point. Lastly, I want to give you an exercise that you can do immediately following this video, and I want you to let me know in the comments how it worked out for you. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to set your timer for 20 minutes. Take out your notebook and script from the version of you who's already crossed the bridge, who's already crossed into your new timeline. Not the version of you begging to be chosen, not the version of you who keeps checking the 3D, not the version of you wondering when it will ever happen. No, the version who knows. Ask yourself, what did she or he wake up to? What changed? How did it come in? How do you feel now that this is the new normal? What did you finally stop worrying about? And what do you now believe about yourself? I want you to write it from that version. Write like it already unfolded exactly as you desired. Write like you're documenting the shift, not that you're begging for it. Write like your next timeline is already selected, and now you're simply becoming the version of you who can hold it. And when your mind says, this is not real yet, you say, that's okay. I'm rehearsing the timeline I selected. That, my friends, is the work. It's not forcing, it's not chasing, and it's darn sure not begging. It is choosing again and again and again when you don't feel like it, again and again. You choose it until the new version of you becomes the only version that makes sense. So friends, I'm asking you today to choose your hard. Choose the 20 minutes, choose the script, choose the affirmation, choose the affirmations, choose whatever manifestation, routine feels good to you. Because I want you to choose the state. I want you to choose to be the version of you who already has it. Because your next timeline, it's not asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to decide. And once you decide, everything begins to move differently. It's not because it's some magic thing that you decide and then it happens. No, you decide and you aligned with that choice and that new timeline. Your thoughts, your feelings, your words, your actions, your state, the version of you is now aligned to your new timeline where your manifestation is present. Keyword, present. If you need help scripting your next timeline, I have more videos and I'll tag them on this channel that can help you walk you through step by step. But if you're looking for deeper support, I do offer one-on-one coaching. All that information is listed below, and I have an amazing school community. But for today, start with this. Choose one aligned action, choose the hard that pays you back, and choose the timeline that you said you always wanted. I'll meet you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.